Welcome back to Captain of Industry. On the Paris custom map, our city has been growing for sure. You can see in the last episode we crossed the 2000 of population, and I've actually continued to build a few more over here. So it is growing, but with this growth we have a problem, which is around diesel. You may remember in the last episode I said I had to put Unity on this one, otherwise I wasn't producing enough, and you can see that they are working all the time. There's a lot of pollution, we're burning things over here, and more importantly, you may remember that in some of the last episode we have unlocked quite a few new research over here on NAFTA, reforming and cracking, hydrogen production, so we're gonna want to use all of this. I have actually already built this whole thing there, but I also built a blueprint, right? So don't hesitate to use this. I will post it in my Discord community after maybe a couple of episodes. So we have this one over here, right? And as you can see, the really crazy thing is it's costing almost 5,000 gold parts, almost 4,000, more than 4,000, sorry, red parts, and a few other things. So it's definitely a super expensive one. Like, it is actually 8 lines of these stage 1, 2, and 3, and a lot of other things all at once. So that is why I've paused quite a few. I don't think we're gonna need all of them, but let me explain. Now what I've done too is I have delivered one time some crude oil. Now the ship is basically empty in terms of diesel, so we're gonna need to use this crude oil before it can go back. This is why, over here I've paused actually this line, and that's why it was stopped. But now if I put it on, that's going to get started. So, the crude oil comes over here, right? It's this line there, it goes all the way into this one, and then this one is at level 0 over here, right? This is this belt at level 0, that's going to start delivering into all of these, right? So it starts, oh, here it is, they're already going full speed. So we're gonna take this crude oil and a bit of steam. I'll show you the steam where it's coming from to make 3 things: medium oil, heavy oil, and sour water. Medium oil goes over here. With a bit more steam, we're gonna start making some diesel as well as light oil. Then this light oil actually goes over here with a bit more steam, making naphtha and fuel gas. So if you've been paying attention, you know that we're making some diesel, and this diesel is going to go all the way over here. This is actually this pipe here, right? Which will go first. Here it is. Priority out is first to go back into here. And where is this? Is empty? No, it's coming now. Oh no, it's going into the ship, sorry. So it is. That's why now the ship is full, because we've started to make some diesel. And then when this is full, right, when we have enough diesel in the ship, it can go into the storage there, right? We have a fuel station and those type of things. So that's the first thing we're making, but we're also making naphtha, fuel gas, heavy oil, and sour water. And apparently there is a problem with my sour water. Did I forget to do anything over here? So the sour water goes there, then it goes here, goes, oh, the pipe is the wrong side, and that's why. Or not, maybe, wait, no, it's supposed to go there, sorry, my bad. My bad. Let's turn it back. So it goes this side, that's fine. It goes here, that's fine. There, yes. And then this goes into the sour strippers, which are missing some steam. That's the problem. And this is because this pipe is the wrong side. So I'm gonna have to, redo the blueprint. This one is fine. It's going the right way. Now there is steam on those two, and those two now are getting it. Okay, so the sour water is going to start working now. So that's perfect. So as I was saying, heavy oil, sour water, but also naphtha and fuel gas. So the sour water, you just saw it. It's going over here. This is the classic thing, transform into sulfur, ammonia, and water. So the water is over here. That's going to go back into our water system. I'll show you that. Then we have, the sulfur and the ammonia. So the sulfur is going over here into this pipe, belt, sorry, all the way over here. Then there's going to be a couple of balancers. The priority is to go this side. This side, we're going to be able to use the sulfur to make some rubber, right? So that will be pretty cool. And actually we have some naphtha that has arrived already. So that's the priority number 1. Then priority number 2 is you go over here and you're going to start making some acid. The acid will then go out into this fluid storage. And then number 3, you will go there with priority first to fill the storage, and then if all else fails, then lastly is we're gonna burn it. Right? So there's a lot of use for the sulfur. That's gonna be good. Then we have the second thing over here, which was the ammonia. So the ammonia goes on this pipe here. Let's follow it. Goes all the way here into the storage. This way we have a bit of an alert and we can make some reserves. And then it's going to be transformed into nitrogen and hydrogen. I'm sending the nitrogen to the atmosphere because it doesn't pollute and we don't really need it, but the hydrogen we definitely need, and that's why it's going into this storage there. And then it's going to be used for a couple of things. Then we have the heavy oil. So the heavy oil is actually going the other way, this side, right? And there is a storage again, just to make sure we have some buffer and we can put an alert. And then it's going to be transformed with some hydrogen into more naphtha and more fuel gas. We're already making naphtha and fuel gas. With this, we're making even more. Using a bit of hydrogen, but remember, we're making hydrogen there, so that is nice. This is not full, that's fine. I think this one may need to be a pipe level 2. My bad. I mean, it doesn't really need to because it's 48, but it's just for it to go very fast. So that's what's happening over here, right? More naphtha and fuel gas. So we will never have too much heavy oil. I didn't even put a flare there because I don't think we will ever need it. So that gets us, back over here, which is we're making a lot of naphtha and fuel gas. So that is going to go into this one here and this one there. Now, what are we going to do with this? Well, let's maybe start with the naphtha. The priority of the naphtha is this pipe here. That's going to go into this storage here to get closer and create some buffer. And then we're gonna have those two pipes. Now the priority number 1 is what you just saw, using this naphtha to make rubber. Why is it priority number 1? Because rubber is needed for maintenance, remember? So we definitely want to have enough rubber. So that's what's happening over here, making the rubber, and then by the way, this rubber comes on this belt, all the way over here, to go into this gigantic storage. Then, the second priority is over here to go a bit further into these ones here. We have 4 of them. They're going to make plastic. That's something new, right? We hadn't started to make plastic. Let me actually add it now to this. Where is it? Plastic PPP here. Okay, and I see this is full. What is happening? Why is this full? That is not normal. Okay, this belt wasn't finished for. Oh no, I probably deleted it when I built this thing there. But anyway, that's fine. So we build it, the plastic, will go there and to another storage. So plastic, I'm using naphtha and chlorine. Chlorine comes over here, right? From brine, we are making a lot of brine with the water production as always, so that's easy. That's what's happening over here, plastic and a bit of exhaust. I'm sending the exhaust into the atmosphere. That's not good. Why am I doing this? Okay, I'm gonna need to fix this because clearly we shouldn't be doing this. We should be, changing our exhaust over here. So that's definitely a mistake on my part. Let me fix this in a second. But yeah, that's basically the first thing we're doing with naphtha. We want to use it. Now, if this is full, if we don't need to use this naphtha, we're going to go into this second pipe there, where the priority is to go over here and transform this naphtha into more diesel and more fuel gas, but it's going to use hydrogen, right? And I see the hydrogen is empty, so that is not great, but okay, we're gonna check that in a second. I do see a lot of hydrogen there. Okay, so anyway, using naphtha and hydrogen to make more diesel, because that way, it's a more efficient way of transforming crude oil into more diesel and a bit more fuel gas. So the fuel gas, will go on the outside, and the diesel will also go on the outside. It's this pipe over here to go back to the rest of the diesel over there. So that's what we're going to be doing. But if this is full, right, we do want to have some way to take care of more of the naphtha, and in this case, going to go over here and be burnt into those 2 boiler gas, right? We have 2 boiler gas. We're going to use some of this naphtha with water to make more steam. And this steam will of course be prioritized versus the steam of the coal. Then we have the fuel gas, right? So we're making a lot of fuel gas over here, a bit more over there, and a bit more potentially over here too. Let me just double check that this seems okay. Yeah, it's just the hydrogen. We're going to check in a second. But yeah, we have the fuel gas. Now the fuel gas is this pipe there. So this balancer, where the priority is to go here, yeah. Oh no, I didn't put, yeah, no, that's fine, that's the priority. So the priority is to transform it into steam and hydrogen, using steam into hydrogen and carbon dioxide. So that's what you can see on all of these over here, right, producing a lot of hydrogen. And there is probably a small problem because these things shouldn't be full. So let me see, we are making here the fuel gas and the steam, that's working fine. But then over here, what is the problem? The hydrogen is coming there, yeah. Oh, that goes here. Oh, this is this pipe here, the problem. A pipe level 1, that's never gonna work. So that was probably when I was rebuilding something. Anyway, now that should be flowing a lot better. So we should get, you know, a lot of production of hydrogen, which will also go here. Right, here it is, it's working, okay. So now we have the hydrogen coming, good. On this side, there is hydrogen too. Okay, so hydrogen is working. Let me double check that we're making properly. Yeah, that's going fine. So this is going to be the diesel, and this is going to be a bit more of the fuel that's going to go back into that fuel input. So all good. So as I was saying, you know, the fuel will go first over here. We have a lot of those hydrogen reformers to make sure that we transform this fuel into something useful. I did put a balancer because in the future we may have other use for the fuel. So that's what you see over here. And then for my hydrogen, there's actually a lot of things happening. So the hydrogen, you know, comes over here. The priority is to go on this belt here. That's going to be used, you know, to crack the heavy oil, because otherwise we're going to be full on heavy oil. So we don't want that to happen. Then when this is full, it can go into the second pipe balancer that is just above. And when this is full, it goes into this pipe here, which is the pipe over here for our reformers, right? If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, sorry, this is actually this pipe here. First, we want to use this hydrogen to make cement. Now, there was different ways to make cement in the past, right? We used to, where was it here? We used to use this one that's taking limestone and coal to make cement. It's only making 3. Now we're gonna use this one over here, which is, first of all, making more, it's making 6, and not using coal, and it's also not creating exhaust, it's creating carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide can be, in the future, also used to do something else. For now, the carbon dioxide, you know, all of the carbon dioxide that I make on the map is going over here into this 600, but as I said, in the future, we can do something better with it. So that's what's happening over here, right? We're making now a lot of cement. This cement is coming on this belt and will go into this one. So we will be able to also delete that part here of cement. So that's the second thing we're doing with the hydrogen. And then third, the hydrogen will go on this side, right? Which will be used for here, the cracking, right? And when is it going into... No, this one doesn't require hydrogen, so it's making hydrogen. And then last but not least, you know, when this is all full, then it can go into this belt here, which is for this other boiler, right? This way we're gonna use less coal to make our steam. So that's indeed where we're making all steam. We have the boiler gas, right? We have over here the NAFTA, we have the hydrogen, right? It's going into this pipe over here with the balancer that says the priority in is for these guys instead of the coal one, and the priority out, as you saw, is the one in front where we're making water. Right? And then when this is full, you can go into this one. Now you may be wondering what this is. This is basically a storage. Because there is basically 130 steam that is stored in this one, just because it's long. If it was short, it would be a lot less. But yeah, that is basically the steam that's going into all of these guys there. Right? Then with all of those boilers, we're creating some steam depleted, some exhaust, and some exhaust. So the steam depleted is this one. Here, it goes directly into these guys here, where there's also some of those pipe balancer to say first you transform into more water, but if this is full, you can send into the atmosphere, it doesn't even pollute. For all of the others, right, we're creating exhaust, as I said, so this exhaust comes over here to this pipe, and into those 2 scrubbers, we're going to take exhaust and a bit of water to make sulfur, carbon dioxide, and steam low. So steam low again goes into those cooling towers there. The sulfur joins over here to the sulfur where we're making with the sour water stripper. And basically the CO2 goes also into... No, that's not the CO2, sorry, my bad. The CO2 is this one here. It's the same color. So the CO2 goes into this one here. So with this, you see we've started to make a lot of diesel. I love it. It's working well. It's working well. I think we can also reduce the ship speed. Don't think there's a need for bringing so much. We have, you know, a couple of inputs. One input is the limestone that's needed for the rotary kiln. One is the coal, and that's pretty much it. We had to prime the water at the beginning, but now there's no more need to prime it. We're starting to make a lot of these, rubber, cement, plastic, right? We haven't started to make... Oh, there's a problem here. Yeah, I definitely delete seeds. Oh no, it's because there is... Look at this. There is a very small terrain there, and so that's deleted basically the what do you call it? The pipe that was over here. So now this is actually making it a bit hard. I'm gonna have to go the other way around, I guess. So I'm gonna go the other way around. Let me delete this quickly and rebuild it properly. I could send a truck, but that's going to be hard to get a truck here. So instead, I think we're just going to build... Oof. No, that's not good. That is not good. I mean, it's not like I need that much salt, but still, that is pretty annoying. So we basically should delete this one because it's unusable. But we can just build this one and maybe we can unpause this one. And those two now will deliver the salt over here. So yeah, that's working pretty well. As I said, the only problem is over there. No, where was it? Here. I was sending the exhaust into the air, which is a terrible idea. Is this full already? Wow. I mean, we haven't started using it, so that makes sense, but still. So let's delete these two. We're talking about 24, so 48. Okay, that's not too much. Let's do this quickly. Okay, pipe here, connect there, and that needs to go basically all the way over here. Right, so that's gonna be a pretty long one. It's a bit of spaghetti at this point, I know, sorry, but it is working, as you saw. I mean, shows you every single thing happening. And of course, I also did the math, right? This is definitely the right amount of everything. So yeah, I don't think I made any mistake. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, thoughts, or requests. But I think that's working well. We have a lot of diesel now. We will see when we delete this one, because we can indeed start deleting this whole thing. There's no need for any of this. And we can use, therefore, this cargo depot for something else. This is definitely also going to create a lot less pollution than it used to be, you know, for my air pollution, so that's great. A few years later, this has been running really well. As you can see, we have a lot of diesel, that's working no problem. We've made rubber, we've made cement, plastic, salt, you know, it's all there, it's all working pretty well. We have, you know, the depot there, the ship is somewhere in the sea, but yeah, it's working. So we've deleted obviously the old one over here. Now there was one small thing also there, which was the paper production, right? Remember, it does take just a bit of steam. So now I've moved it over here, my energy production. I did make another small change on my energy production, which is there is one line there where there is no flywheel at all. Why? Because basically this one is going to be working at 100% all the time. There is no auto balance on it, and this is the one that is priority number one. You know, this is all priority number one. So this one will be working before, you know, even if those ones are not working, this one will always be working, because the reality is now I'm at the point in the game where I always have more than sort of 10 megawatts of consumption. So this is basically working 100% all the time. It's not doing stop and go, it's just doing go, go, go. Versus these ones are continuing to do stop and go, right? For example, this one just restarted now. And remember over here, we're making a lot of cement thanks to this new rotary clean gas, right? So I have also changed the cement factory that used to be all the way over here. I mean, when I say change, it's basically all of this is paused. I'm going to delete it now. But we did create a new one next to it. It's a new one, but we don't need to copy everything, right? We don't need those rotary clean anymore. We just need the next step, which is to use the cement to make the concrete slab. So that's what's happening over here. We have actually now 8 of these concrete mixer, and they're actually level 2 instead of level 1. So they make 24 instead of 12 with, you know, 3 cement, sand, and in this case, I started to do really slag crush and a bit of water. So I put it over here because I already had water. All right, so this water now goes over here. And then on top of this, we need the cement. We need the sand, and last but not least, we're gonna need the slag crush. Now slag crush, right, we're making it with slag. Now that works well because we do create a lot of slag over here, right? All of these ones are creating slag, for example, there. So in the future, I could almost even, you know, belt it directly into it. For now, I didn't belt it. I just made a huge storage to make sure that we always have some. And then we also put a huge crusher, as you can see. Let me show you the difference in size, right? Like this was one old crusher. This is one of the new one. But this one was only doing, you know, if you look about the slag, it was only doing 24. This one is doing 144. So it's obviously way bigger. It does cost also more energy. We're talking about 1.2 megawatts versus this one was basically nothing. But again, I think, you know, at this level, you need so much that it's a good investment. So this is directly connected, and then, you know, I put a lot of storage there for 2 reasons. The first one is that the slag production can be a bit kind of up and down. So I wanted to make sure we have good reserve there and good reserve there. to, you know, manage those kind of ups and downs. But then the second, frankly, is also to just make it a bit more pretty, a bit more kind of rectangle, given that I knew I wanted to have all of these. Oh, that was a big lightning strike. Given that I wanted to have all of these, I said, okay, let me put as many as I can fit there. So that's what's happening, right? We're crushing it, and then the crush goes all the way over here. So we have, you know, at level 0 over here, the cement, level 1, the sand, and level 2, oops, over here, the slag crush. It goes down with those clean elevators, right? So here it is, and then on the other side, we're making all of the concrete going into this gigantic unique storage, more than 2000. And then again, I could build it directly. Oh, it's actually a bit far. It's all the way over here. I could have built it, I didn't. Maybe in the future we will. So that is a new efficient, you know, more efficient, more compact way of making concrete. So we can delete now all of this. There's quite a bit of reserves, but anyway, that's all good. Then, you know, in the last episode, I talked about household goods. This is basically what IDEA, not IKEA, IDEA is going to be selling, right? Chairs, tables, all those type of things. So it's for our city, right? You find it into the housing and services. We have it over here next to your market, household good module. Right? You can put it anywhere you want. In particular, I showed you over here. It doesn't even have to be on a city, on a housing block that is actually created. You can put it on one that's not created yet, as long as it's linked to, you know, the rest. So we have it over here, you know, there is a storage. I haven't started giving it to my people because the reality is I don't really need to right now. When I start giving it, I'm gonna get 2.8 of Unity just for the household goals. And then on top of this, I'm going to activate this Unity bonus of 100% there, which means that basically for food, instead of getting 1.5, I'm gonna get it 2. Electricity, instead of 1.8, I'm gonna get 2.4. So it's definitely going to be doing a big jump to my Unity. But the reality is right now, you know, I have a positive Unity, even if just barely. I'm using already 2. I could use more, you know, reduce again the fuel consumption or the maintenance, but I think we'll do it just a bit later. I did create everything, so it's already ready. You can see it's actually full over there. It's just that over there I said, you know, off, so they cannot deliver, but it's ready. So let me show you how it's working. Basically, we have over here, the recipe is glass, steel, and wood. So this is all things that we had already on our bus, right? We have the steel over here, it goes down at level 0. We have the wood over here, it's gonna go at level 1. And we have the glass that goes at level 2. So that's what's happening over here, right? Level 0, 2, and 2 and 3. And then we have those elevators, right? So that's a pretty simple one. And we merge all of this into the storage. And then we'll just have to deliver it there. My trucks are very busy, that is quite unusual. Oh yeah, this is because I'm doing so much work over there. I'm gonna show you in a second. But yeah, we have done the household goods, which is one of the first good. They're gonna want some other ones that we haven't unlocked yet. Where are the next ones? Let me find them. So there is the computer over here, but first there is the here, household appliances. So we're talking about, you know, fridge and your dryer and all of this, right? So that's going to be the next one. And the final one is going to be the computers all the way over here. So all of these will give us quite a bit of Unity for our people. Now, while we're here in the research, as you can see, we've done a bit more. For example, I've finished the cannula now. We have also finished advanced smelting, which is giving us access to the blast furnace level 2 and related buildings. It is basically going to double the production, right? Instead of 24 molten iron, we can make 48. But there is also, the recipe is slightly different. Instead of just giving iron ore, we're gonna have to give iron ore crushed and a bit of limestone or sand to make this happen. So I haven't done it now. We did unlock also the silicon and electronics. That will probably be in the next episode, because as you can see, I am actually blocked now. To do the next research, it's not just a research lab that is required, but we also need to have done 20 of these electronics level 2, which requires, you know, spoiler alert, requires this new poly and this new PCB. This PCB requires glass and plastic, so we're fine with this, but the poly is over here. It requires some graphite and these new production buildings that we haven't done yet. So that will be in the next episode. Once we have produced 20, we will be able to do this research to unlock construction part level 4. And then just after, we'll also get into research lab level 4, so the red ones. And that will then unlock all of these over here. So that's definitely going to be a big one. But as I said, we're not there yet. We're going to need to do a couple of improvement first. Talking about improvements, I have also improved a bit my food production. But before, let me show you this. This is pretty cool. I made a bridge out of copper. Yes, I know it's a bit of a waste because you could say I need copper to, make copper, but I have so much on the map, to be honest. Like I still have so much over here, so much there, and then this whole thing is copper too, right? This was a bit on purpose. When I created this custom map of Paris, I just said, let's put one resource way more than the others, so I have to deal with this. The way I'm dealing with this is twofold right now. One is I made this for fun, so now we have connected to Ile Saint-Louis, where we have a lot of gold, remember? So that has been done. And then the second thing I've been doing is here I'm creating this mountain of copper. There was a small snafu over here, right? A small mistake. I'll explain in a second, but everything else is just pure copper that I'm taking obviously from this mountain. The goal being obviously to make this all flat, right? We have already made a lot of it flat. We've also pushed, some stone over here. But yeah, it's taking a lot of copper, a lot more copper than what I'm using. So I'm building this over here. Then when this is all flat, we will be able to have a lot more farms basically. Now, how are you doing something like this or something like this? Basically, you're going to put one of these mine control towers without, we don't need any excavators or trucks, but the important thing is this. We're gonna say what can be dumped here. Usually, if I create one by a new one, let me just show you. If I put a new one, by default, it's things like dirt, slag, etc. The things that you have over here, right? This is what can be dumped everywhere in my map, basically. So instead, what you do is you take this out and then you're going to say, what do you want? You could do it for anything, right? It can be for the copper, it could be for dirt. You may remember in the past, I made a mountain of dirt over here, for example. But in this case, no, I said it can only be copper. And then, you say where? So I say over here, I only want copper. And then of course, you do like this, we can expand a bit our bridge. And so now they're going to deliver resources, but it's only copper that can be delivered there, copper ore. So that's what they're going to do. And similarly, over here, that's the same thing I did, right? You can only deliver copper. And when I say, there was a small problem, is basically at one point I did like this, I expanded the mountain, the mountain started there. Then at some point I expanded it over here, and I have forgotten to also expand this thing, which used to be there. And then, now you need to put it over here too. So yeah, that's what they're doing, delivering, a lot of this copper ore directly there. I don't know why this guy is not delivering. No, it's fine. So that's going to take a bit of time to finish this mountain, but we're making progress. As you saw also over here, we're slowly but surely making progress. At the same time, I've also started to dump over here into the pool. So more terraforming happening as always. And then last but not least, as I was saying, I fixed a bit the food, and we have more food than before. When I say fixed is, if you have seen the previous episode, you may remember I said that the line for my wheat was on the wrong side. It was on this side going there. Instead, we want it on this side, meaning before the storage, so that we can prioritize having a lot into the storage, and then when the storage is full, it can go back into this line here. I also did the same over here for the vegetable, because now we have a second thing that is also on this unit, baseline there. This is the fruits. We have find the fruit, seed, and we started to make fruit. So we're doing the same, right? We have over here the flat sorter that's saying vegetables go here. First, you have to go onto this line to make this full, and then when this is indeed full, you can go back into a new belt that is at the top level. And similarly for the fruits, right? We have this, it says the fruit go this way. Then we have the sorter to say first go into the storage, and when you're full, you can go on top. And then on top, it's similar to the one just below. That's gonna go all the way to the end to start being, transformed into things. So you're gonna be transformed, and here, is there a problem? No, that seems to be working. Okay, it's fine. So yeah, this is still very dirty, and I want to fix it in the future. But remember, we have the corn that's going over here to be transformed into animal feed that is burnt, but only if this is all full. And then on the other side, we're doing the vegetable and fruits. So as I said, this is pretty temporary. I'm gonna make it better in the future, but this is to make sure that while we have only one belt here, it basically never stops. You can deliver, all 4 resources there and not have any blockages. So that's the food. It's not finished. We still have more food, coming soon into our research. We're gonna want the sugarcane. We're gonna want the sausage, right? I did find, by the way, also the poppy seeds, which will be important for medical supply level 3. So that is in the future. But yeah, I think that's maybe in the next episode or the one after, we're going to definitely make a lot of great progress on food. By that time, hopefully I have also more space so we can make more there. I did use, given that we had so much workers, I did build the second part of my water facility over there. So now we have those 2. Oh, but I forgot to build, what is that for? Oh no, this is for the chicken. So yeah, I built both of these water now, so we're fine over here. Do tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, thoughts or comments about this new advanced dissolve factory. I'm really proud of it. I think it works really well. We could have, made it even cleaner by taking a lot of space, but I think this is the good compromise between compact and still clean. Smash the like button, and I hope to see you soon for our next episode where, as I said, we want to develop poly, PCB, electronics level 2 and move to the next stage of research. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.